Step into a world where power, fame, and scandal simmer just beneath the glittering surface. Do you really think El Chapo would be let out of prison just for a sore knee? Not a chance. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. Tonight, America's entertainment scene is rocked as Jay-Z breaks his silence after dodging a jaw-dropping lawsuit, while Diddy is swept up in a storm of serious accusations and shocking evidence. And for the first time in history, a sitting New York City mayor faces criminal indictment, pulling back the curtain on secret alliances and the dark art of influence. From mysterious prison calls to leaked recordings, hush money deals to witness intimidation, this story has the world holding its breath. Are you ready to uncover the hidden truths behind Hollywood's elite and the corridors of political power? Don't look away. What you're about to discover might change everything you thought you knew about celebrities, power, and justice. And if you find this story as fascinating as we do, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Hollywood Stars so you never miss the hottest secrets and scandals from behind the scenes. Do you really think they'll let El Chapo walk out of prison just to check his knee? No way. Jay-Z has just released a headline-grabbing statement after a civil lawsuit accusing him and Sean Diddy Combs of an incident with a teenager was dismissed. Big news is breaking tonight. And for the first time in New York City's history, a sitting mayor has been charged with a crime. A former assistant of Sean Diddy Combs has come forward in a new interview, making shocking claims about wild parties and rampant drug use. They're going to have to be watched for hours on end, right in front of everyone. He says he's being targeted because he's black and insists these accusations are rooted in racism. Now, a new leaked recording is said to capture Diddy talking with Jay-Z and his own son. What Diddy said in that conversation is truly shocking. How did Diddy know he would be taken to the hospital? And did he have anything to do with the dismissal of Jay-Z's case? Do you really think I won't attack you from the inside? He even reached out to a witness, someone accused of being tangled up in countless bizarre incidents. So why is Oprah silent? Why did Ellen move out of the country? And he's allegedly asking people to threaten witnesses or pay them off. Don't be surprised if nobody shows up to testify. Don't contact me anymore, darling. I've already had that Houston lawyer breathing down my neck because of that 13-year-old girl. If you don't want things to get worse for you, you need to start answering my son's phone calls. The defendant's entire strategy is to pressure and extort the victim and witnesses into silence, or twist their testimony to help his own defense. He still pleads not guilty. New York is now in chaos with leaks everywhere. Courtroom videos are already online, and his phone calls to witnesses have been exposed. Things are spiraling out of control, and you simply won't believe what he says in these calls. Recently, the DA announced that Diddy had been reaching out to witnesses from inside prison, which is exactly why he was denied bail. He used other inmates' phone privileges to get third parties to call the witnesses, and that's how he managed those conversations. Then, in a bizarre twist, the district attorney leading the case against Diddy suddenly stepped down in the most high-profile prosecution of his career. And that's really truly strange. So let's dive into this wild phone call that's been taking the internet by storm. Just weeks ago, rumors swirled that Diddy told his son he had one last trick up his sleeve and he'd be out of prison soon. Then, suddenly, on February 2nd, Diddy was whisked away from his cell in the dead of night, quietly taken to a Brooklyn hospital for an MRI. Only a week later, the lawsuit against Jay-Z mysteriously disappeared without a trace. What really happened inside that hospital room? Who did Diddy meet? And what was whispered in secret? Could that very conversation be the hidden reason Jay-Z's legal troubles vanished overnight? Think about it. Would they ever let El Chapo out of prison just to check his knee? No chance. El Chapo had to dig a tunnel and ride a bike just to escape. So why was Diddy escorted out under the cover of darkness? Why all the secrecy? Was it really just for an aspirin, or is there a much bigger secret at play? Help me, Dr. Hendricks. Here's the rule. Every inmate gets a health check within 14 days of arriving at any facility. But why the late-night drama just for Diddy? What are they really hiding behind those shadows? Reports suggest Diddy has struggled with knee issues ever since his marathon days in 2003, and some speculate this mysterious late-night transfer was just for an MRI, since the prison lacks that kind of equipment. But here's what really raises eyebrows. Would they schedule a hospital trip for a notorious inmate at 1 a.m. in total secrecy just for a sore knee? Or was something much bigger at stake? Meanwhile, the media explodes with another bombshell. Jay-Z releases a new statement after a civil lawsuit accusing him and Sean Diddy Combs of misconduct with a minor was abruptly dismissed. The lawsuit, filed last October by a woman who claimed that after an award show in 2000, both Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, and Diddy acted improperly when she was just 13 years old, is now off the books after the accuser withdrew. In his official response, Jay-Z shared his pain, saying these accusations hurt his family and loved ones and insisted, "I don't want anyone to go through this. These baseless, fictional claims have been dismissed. This lawsuit never stood a chance." If you find this story as intriguing as we do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next big secret from behind the scenes of showbiz. Listen to what Diddy tells his son. He knew he was about to get out of prison. Diddy's prison phone call was recently leaked and exploded across social media. They say this was the real call, packed with rumors, secret codes, and cryptic language only insiders can understand. So, we're going to listen together. Let's check it out. Nothing in this ... no. Now, in the leaked call, you can hear Diddy talking about getting rid of the pizza box. And if you're in the know, you already understand exactly what pizza is a code for. That's probably what they're hinting at in this strange, shadowy conversation. Pizza, for those who don't know, is actually related to children and trafficking. He also brings up recycling plastic, another secret phrase that means something to those who understand. In this same call, Diddy starts talking about a person named Jay. Some people are speculating it could mean Jay-Z, but there's no confirmation. At the same time, he keeps mentioning recycling plastic. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. If you've got any theories, leave a comment and let me know. Everyone out there is eerily silent. Yeah, exactly. We'll let him have some fun, but I'll still get the last laugh. From this call, it really seems like Diddy's looking for help. He keeps saying a lot of people are staying silent now, maybe the ones who used to stand by him, and he insists he'll be the one to laugh in the end. I told him to go ahead and do it. Then he keeps repeating, "Don't forget the list." And nobody really knows what this mysterious list is or what it means, but things are starting to sound even crazier. Is any of this even legal? There's still no confirmation, but supposedly, this is the main call where he pressured the victim to drop the lawsuit against Jay-Z and himself. If that's true, who let someone like Diddy leave prison in the middle of the night? How dangerous could he really be? Especially after prosecutors already knew he was trying to contact witnesses and still allowed him to go out at midnight. Diddy's call logs are said to show he reached out and threatened victims. So why hasn't more been done to stop him? This morning brings fresh shockwaves in the second lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors now allege that even behind bars, Diddy has been making moves to contact potential victims and witnesses, and even sway possible jurors. Diddy's legal team is making a third attempt at securing his bail, but this time the prosecution is pushing back harder than ever, presenting a trove of new evidence that shows Diddy's continued influence from inside his cell. Prosecutors have filed new charges, arguing that Diddy poses a real threat, even while locked up awaiting trial. Their court documents detail his covert attempts to reach out, pressure witnesses, and manipulate public opinion to sway the jury. These latest claims are being taken extremely seriously by the judge, who is determined to prevent any witness intimidation or interference with the trial. Diddy, for his part, maintains his innocence and pleads not guilty to charges of extortion, prostitution trafficking, and sex trafficking. Still, the government is urging the court to reject his third $50 million bail request, insisting that new evidence and changed circumstances make him too dangerous to release. What seemed like a clear-cut case takes a wild turn. Jay-Z's lawyer is accused of being caught on tape bribing a witness to lie, even impersonating an FBI agent and flashing a fake badge, a federal crime with supposed evidence on tape. Still, the lawsuit against Jay-Z was dismissed. So who's pulling the strings? And does Diddy's rumored connection to the New York mayor play a hidden role here? Now, in a new twist, a Texas man has filed a fresh lawsuit accusing Jay-Z's lawyers of bribing others to sue Busby and his law firm. This 13-page case, filed January 3rd in Harris County, is led by Busby's own team. The plaintiff, Jose Maldonado, is suing Jay-Z's legal team and Roc Nation, but not Jay-Z himself, alleging a conspiracy to obstruct justice. The claim: Roc Nation funded a scheme where lawyers Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel's firm orchestrated a plot to get over 24 of Busby Law's clients to turn around and sue their own attorneys. Don't forget to leave a comment and share this video so everyone can follow the latest twists in this shocking case. The lawsuit claims the defendant's agents pretended to work for the state of Texas, even flashing fake badges to manipulate the system. But if someone was involved in that level of deception, how did they end up being honored with the keys to the city? It doesn't add up. The backstory grows even murkier. Federal surveillance reportedly monitored either Diddy's dealings with the mayor or vice versa. No one knows which came first, but the connections run deep. Interestingly, both Diddy and his close friend, Mayor Eric Adams, found themselves under legal fire at the same time. Diddy facing a $100 million lawsuit loss, just as Adams was indicted by a federal grand jury. Is it pure coincidence or something more calculated? Despite the ongoing investigation into Diddy, Mayor Adams still awarded him the symbolic key to the city. Was this an attempt to polish Diddy's image, or just political theater? Tonight, for the first time in New York City's history, a sitting mayor is indicted. Federal agencies continue to investigate, issuing subpoenas for documents and phones, leaving the city and the public wondering what secrets will surface next. Several members of the administration have already stepped down, and some are close friends of Mayor Adams himself. Once again, Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York, has been indicted by a federal grand jury. Stay tuned for the latest updates online and catch the full story tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 p.m. Then at 5 p.m., another bombshell. Diddy's legal troubles escalate as a judge orders the music mogul to pay $100 million to a Michigan man. This man claims Combs drugged and sexually assaulted him at a Holiday Inn party in Detroit back in 1997. Allegations Combs never responded to in court. According to the latest ruling, Diddy must pay $10 million per month starting this October. What do you think of this decision? Leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video so everyone can follow the twists and turns of this shocking case. The victim is currently serving a 75-year sentence for sexual offenses and kidnapping. At the same time, NBC News has just released a new documentary revealing explosive testimony from those closest to Diddy's personal assistant. Friends and former employees say they witnessed Diddy's direct involvement in acts of sexual assault. Philip Pines, who served as Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021, claims Diddy forced him to prove his loyalty through degrading sexual acts. In one shocking incident, Diddy is accused of grabbing Pines by the shoulder, massaging him, and then pushing him toward a woman lying on a couch with a condom, demanding Pines do the same. What really happened during those wild, drug-fueled Wild King nights? The full story is laid out in a 32-page lawsuit, reviewed by major outlets like Rolling Stone, filed in Los Angeles by Philip Pines himself, who alleges he worked for Diddy from 2019 to 2021. What's your take on all this? Leave a comment below, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll always be the first to catch the latest breaking news. In fact, this case is even more recent than other lawsuits filed against Sean Combs in the early 2000s or even back in the 90s. According to the court filings, Pines accuses Diddy of a series of serious acts. But before we dive deeper, you might be wondering, what does the name Wild King Nights actually mean? Part of the lawsuit alleges that Pines was forced to prove his loyalty to Diddy, the so-called king, by performing disturbing sexual acts for him, hence the infamous name Wild King Nights. The claim goes further, stating Pines was treated like an animal playing fetch, forced to do degrading things just to please his boss. And Pines isn't alone. A former Diddy assistant has also come forward in a brand new interview, adding fresh allegations about wild parties and rampant drug use. These Wild King Nights parties, once just a rumor, are now coming to light in shocking detail. This morning, shocking new details have emerged about Diddy's wild world before his dramatic arrest. The entertainment mogul now sits behind bars, facing charges of sex trafficking and federal extortion. It was a circus. Diddy got whatever he wanted, while staff just did his bidding. Phil Pines, Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021, revealed how he was constantly asked to procure supplies for notorious Wild King Nights parties. The list seemed endless: lights, alcohol, marijuana, movies. These requests became more and more frequent, and the parties increasingly twisted. Pines insists many of these events involved very young women. Often, Diddy would be with a younger girl, creating a dangerous power dynamic where impressionable girls could easily get swept up. Pines admits that, in those situations, consent was murky at best. He never fully understood where the line was between choice and pressure. After Pines' statements were made public, Diddy announced he would sue NBC for $100 million over the documentary exposing these shocking claims. Many believe this lawsuit is just a move to silence victims and cover up the real truth. Some even say this legal attack delayed 50 Cent's highly anticipated documentary about Diddy. Diddy is determined to keep the world from finding out what truly happened behind closed doors. Now, Sean Diddy Combs is suing NBC for $100 million over the Peacock documentary that tells his story. According to documents obtained by E! News on February 12th, the Bad Boy Records founder filed a lawsuit against NBC Universal after their streaming platform Peacock aired the explosive documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. In the complaint, Diddy, who is currently serving time for sex trafficking and extortion, accuses NBC Universal of defamation and claims the company recklessly broadcasted false statements, including shocking allegations of serial sexual assault of minors, all without any solid evidence. The lawsuit claims, by creating and airing these false statements and others, the defendant sought only to exploit the public's thirst for scandal, without any regard for the truth. causing serious harm to Mr. Combs's right to a fair trial. What's most fascinating is that no matter what Diddy does, those infamous, shocking tapes will absolutely be played in court. Prosecutors have confirmed that all video evidence submitted during discovery will be shown to the jury, some of which have already been played in a separate case before. The source of these explosive recordings is Courtney Burgess, a close friend of the late Kim Porter, who reportedly handed the tapes over to the FBI as soon as the trial began and the jury was selected. Will the jury see them? 100%. Will they have to watch in court? Absolutely, right there in front of a room full of people. And here's the truly chilling part. They'll be forced to watch hours of explicit pornographic material with everyone present, including the first victim, whoever that may be. In federal court, graphic films will be played in front of the entire gallery. The first victim has already been notified about this. She knows for sure. And right now, she's probably being told how publicly these tapes will be brought into the trial. Every detail of the victim's sexual past will be aired openly in court. Despite knowing this, she refuses to back down and is moving forward with her testimony. Remember, this isn't a civil case, it's criminal. Even if she told prosecutors she didn't want to participate, they could simply say, "We don't care. This is a crime against the United States, not just against you." She may be called Victim 1, but she's actually a key witness in a federal crime. Meanwhile, a shocking revelation just dropped. Tupac's ex-girlfriend, Desiree Smith, went public on the Art of Dialogue, revealing explosive details about Diddy. She claims she knows victims Diddy allegedly raped, including one who was assaulted in retaliation after catching Diddy in the act. Allegedly, Diddy drugged and assaulted her while his security guards watched. Desiree also mentioned she knows several people in Diddy's inner circle. She's even met his former bodyguard and recounted stories about bizarre behavior, including one young photographer from Canada who had her own unsettling experiences. If these twists surprised you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next shocking developments. A few months later, she told me what she'd witnessed at Diddy's Hamptons mansion. Then, after spending time with his bodyguards and entourage, she said someone drugged her. She blacked out and had no idea what happened. Afterward, she just returned to Canada. This didn't happen in the 90s. It was probably around 2004 or 2006. Despite all the scandals, including the release of a shocking video showing Diddy violently assaulting Cassie, there are still people in his inner circle who stand by him. To them, wild parties with kissing, coercion, cocaine, and all-night chaos are just normal, just rich people having fun. Some even say they miss those wild days, loving the thrill of rubbing shoulders with celebrities, movie stars, and famous faces. That reckless lifestyle felt like the best part of youth, and the chaos was just part of the allure. I used to feel like a kid in a candy store, dazzled by famous actresses, wild parties, and a blur of reckless behavior. Guys making out, powder everywhere, chaos all around. But that glittering world has faded fast. Now, with his back against the wall, Diddy is fighting back by claiming all the charges are racially motivated. He insists he's being singled out simply for being a successful black man, arguing that jealousy and bias, not truth, fuel these accusations. Diddy's lawyers have just filed a motion asking the court to dismiss Count 3 in his federal indictment, stating it's rooted in racial prejudice, not real evidence. Meanwhile, life inside the MDC jail is a nightmare beyond Diddy's wildest fears. Inmates are reportedly fed food crawling with maggots, violence is everywhere, and danger lurks around every corner. Diddy desperately tries to remain in special housing for protection, but in this brutal environment, there's no true safety, just a thin illusion. ready to shatter at any moment. The high life is over. Now it's a fight for survival in the harshest reality. The MDC jail has been described as a notorious house of horrors. Even judges have refused to send non-violent offenders there because of its brutal reputation. Just this April, a gang of MS-13 inmates stabbed another prisoner 44 times in a vicious attack caught on surveillance cameras. Miraculously, the victims survived. In the past 3 years alone, 4 inmates have died by suicide. But violence isn't the only nightmare. MDC faces allegations of medical neglect, chronic staff shortages, and rampant drug smuggling, often with staff complicity. At least 6 staffers have been charged in the past 5 years for accepting bribes and sneaking in contraband. Everyone knows prison isn't supposed to be a luxury hotel, but MDC is closer to a haunted house than a correctional facility. Diddy claims his life is constantly at risk. Other inmates are targeting him, determined to take down the star because of his infamous charges. Today, federal agents raided the troubled Brooklyn lockup, launching a sweeping investigation into its deplorable conditions, violence, corruption, and the alarming string of inmate deaths. The city is watching, desperate to see what horrors will be uncovered next. Yes, Bill. The Bureau of Prisons has released only a brief statement, calling this an interagency operation to maintain a safe environment. But sources tell ABC News the inmates are not the real target. And attorneys who've worked with clients here for years say, this timing is truly shocking. This is a situation so unexpected, it could change the entire game. Is the official statement really telling the whole story? Why do so many lawyers believe this marks a turning point? What are your thoughts on this explosive case? Don't forget to leave a comment. Drop a 1 if you sympathize with Diddy or a 0 if you see it differently. Share your thoughts with us below. Before we wrap up, a quick reminder. Everything you've just heard is a collection of rumors, personal opinions, and unverified theories found online. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Hollywood Stars. Click the next video on your screen to discover more amazing stories. See you in the next episode.